What's the weirdest rule your parents had that you didn't realize was strange until you grew up? 1. When my brother was born, I wasn't allowed to touch him or be too close to him for several months because she thought I would hurt him. I was 6 when he was born, but my mom shut myself and my cat in my room for most of the day to keep us isolated. It freaks you out as a kid. You start wondering if you're dangerous or a bad person. 2. We weren't allowed to talk at all during dinner. I didn't grow up in a monastery, but it certainly feels like it. 3. Having a latch on the outside of our bedroom so we couldn't get out. My parents would do this with me and my brothers when they got sick of us. They'd lock us in our separate rooms for hours at a time. They'd put on one movie, and after that I had to figure out how to work the VCR myself as a toddler. 4. My dad, rather than let you outgrow things, set arbitrary ages where you would have to give things up. I had a friend whose dad did that. A stuffed animal you love? You're 9, time to go. Your favorite t-shirt? You're 15 now, you're too old for that theme. So bizarre. 5. I would needed to know where my belongings were at all times. If I misplaced anything, I got in trouble. However, I also had to know where my father's belongings were. He had ADHD and misplaced his things all the time. He would misplace things while I was at school. When I got home, he'd ask me where something of his was, a pair of glasses, a hat, keys, etc. If I didn't know where he left them, I got punished for that also. 6. I didn't realize it was strange that my parents had a designated screaming pillow for when we were being too loud. I just thought all families had one. But that's healthy actually. I have PTSD and maybe 5 different therapists have suggested I try that. What did the weird kid in your school do that you'll never forget? 1. Mouthed off to the teacher who got so angry he stormed down the aisle, grabbed the kid's desk and slid it, with the kid still sitting in it, all the way to the back of the class and made him sit there for weeks later. Same kid had a big brother who caught a fly in the library and popped it in his mouth and swallowed it whole. We later heard after high school that the kid was goofing around with a gun and accidentally gut-shot his big brother. 2. We called a kid Dada Brown for most of a semester because he shit his pants in class, but we only so hard on him because less than a month before, he absolutely humiliated a classmate who pissed herself in class. Well, I only went so hard on him for that reason. She was my friend, and it only happened because the teacher refused to let her go to the bathroom, and she didn't want to get in trouble. But maybe the others were just mean. It was middle school, and we were all fucking feral with hormones and general rage. 3. He brought a whole rotisserie chicken to class and ate it like an apple during a lecture. 4. He had a tooth he was able to easily remove and put back in for some reason and would do it for a quarter. Surprisingly, I think he actually made quite a bit of money doing it because I constantly saw people paying him so good on him, I guess. 5. He used to get made fun of for having a Thomas the Tank Engine rolling backpack, so he set it on fire in the bathroom. 6. Hit the school bully over the head with a mini baseball bat and split his head wide open. The school bully was absolutely brutal, but I winced seeing it. Weird kid was charged with aggravated battery and expelled from school. He ended up becoming a very successful diesel mechanic. He wasn't weird at all, but didn't fit into what the school and suburb considered to be normal. Big thanks to everyone who watched to the end. I really appreciate the support. And please hit the subscribe button.